Welcome to the dynamic learning hub of XLR at Andheri East. A prime spot conveniently located at just a 5-minute walk from LIC Andheri Metro. In our journey of over a decade, we have proudly trained over 2 lakh students. We have also been recognized by Deloitte, Silicon India, and other accreditation bodies. Experience learning like never before in our spacious and comfortable classrooms. With high-definition projectors and state-of-the-art acoustics in place, we ensure effective learning even to the farthest point in the room. The hybrid mode is a game changer as you can enjoy the benefits of a live classroom from the comfort of your home. Even if you happen to miss any classroom session, you can still attend the same session with the same trainer at the same time at your convenience, maintaining consistency in your learning progress. Want to get started? Join us for a demo or career chat over a cup of coffee at our Andheri branch. XLR. We don't just train, we build careers.
Yes, so the collaboration with XLR was an excellent one. We conducted a Power BI workshop with Advanced Excel over a span of 3 days. The workshop was almost 12 hours long in total. Mr. Karthik, who was an amazing trainer, helped the students understand the concepts deeply. I am sure that the students will be able to apply these concepts in their careers as well as their daily lives.
The trainer, Mr. Karthik, was an excellent person where he explained in very detailed manner on how to give great insights using very complex data sets.
So it was a machine learning workshop. We learned a lot from the course, and it was a great experience attending the workshop.
The trainer was very helpful. He had a hands-on approach with his teaching, and it was fabulous.
This was a great experience for me. So I would absolutely love it if XLRR and its team would come again to our campus and conduct more events like this.
It was a great course, and it started from basics and took me to a great extent.
The experience of the workshop was really nice. The feedback from all the students was positive. They understood the concept. The workshop was also practical based with some questions. The experience with XLR was very smooth. They helped us in conducting the workshop smoothly, right from the booking of the vendor and deciding the course till the distribution of certificates. In overall, this workshop was a success during our Technical Fest Atmos, and I thank XLR for being a part of it.
Chandana? Chandana, can you hear me? Thank you, Chandana. Thank you so much. Yeah. Hello, guys. Good evening. Sir, I'm audible for everyone. Can I have the response from the students in the chat,
Yes,
please?
Lakshata, you're audible.
Yeah, thank you, Chandana. Thank you so much for responding. Okay, guys, let's start today's session. So, any doubts from the previous session? I even taught you like how to make the documentations, correct? Students, can you please respond in the chat? It will be very great if you guys respond. Students, can you hear me? Is any doubts from the previous session? Thank you, Aditya Sai, for responding. Okay, as I told you in the last session itself, that today we are going to deal with what? A Django project, correct? We are going to do a very live project. Okay, so first let me just elaborate like what is the project that we will be doing. It will take minimum 4 hours to complete this project. Can you please send the last class code again? Yeah, sure. Let me just share that. I'll share the complete folder in the zip. Or else, okay, fine, I'll do this. This class 3 and then the documentation. Documentation you want or the class notes you want? I think it is class 3. Oh, okay, I've sent. Okay. So today, as I told you that we are going to do one Django project. What we are going to do? We are going to do a Django project. So I will discuss what is Django, everything. I think many of the students already know. So they told me to build one on production application, so which will be ready to use. Okay, as you guys know, so let's go on delivering. You guys can't understand, so I will go with a very simple project. Let me say I'm going to design something called as a student data. Okay, student data management. Okay, student data management. And in this, I'm going to use front end. I will be using, it depends upon you guys. Like, if you want, you can go ahead with more tags and then more knowledge in HTML and CSS and JavaScript. But I will show you like how to use all these things. And for programming, okay, that is for backend. Okay, for backend, I will be using Python. Okay, and in the backend software, I will be using database management system. Software, I will be using what? I will be using database management system. Okay, let me just repeat it again. So we are creating a student data management. What is that means? As soon as you add some data in the front end, it will go sit in the data which is in the backend. Okay, where you can perform all the CRUD operations. Okay, I think you guys know what is the meaning of CRUD operation. CRUD is nothing but it is create. Okay, so we can actually create the data, we can read the data, we can update the data, and then we can delete the data. Okay, we can delete the data. So anybody have any doubt in the project that I'm going to do? So I need an answers first. That is that is there anyone who doesn't know Django here? Can you just drop one message in the chat so that I will go step by step and then little slower. I'll tell you, I can't say that it is complicated and I can't say that it is easy. Okay. Your presence of mind is highly required in the session if you are doing with me. Okay. I can see 34 students here. Okay. I need to know like how many of you guys are doing along with me. Can you please write it down in the chat? Thank you so much. Someone responded first time. You are doing it for the first time. Okay. Okay. So you want to do with me or how, Rajita? Others also please respond. Others also please do respond, ma'am. I don't know anything in Django. See, you need not to know anything in Django. It's basically a combination of all the things. Okay, what is that? All the things means like front end, back end, and then we will be involving with the software. So it is like we are just going to club it. Okay, the main first installations will take some time, but I will be showing it in step by step. Okay, like if you watch, you won't get it. You have to do, Rajita. Okay, I want to know like how many of you are doing with me. Can you please respond on that? For instance, students are joining, so I need to know like how many of you guys are doing with me. Okay, I will do after the class. Okay, that's fine. What about others? Others? Why only two are responding? What about others? Anusha, Shafeen, Beauty, Tiwari, Aditya, Chandana. Someone or the other, please respond in the chat. Okay, fine. So I will be starting ahead. Okay, so first I will just give an introduction. Like, what is this? What is this framework? Because we have so many all frameworks for Python, but why am I going with this framework? Let me just tell you that. So first, let's understand what is Django is. Do anybody know what is the meaning of a Django? I want to do you, ma'am. What is it? You want to do with me? Very nice. Okay, thank you so much. I will go slow. Okay. Okay, I will go slow. Okay. And if you guys are stuck, if you are getting any error, please, I do want to know in the chat. Okay. So first we shall understand what is this Django. Django is nothing but it, we are going to say that it is, first of all, it is free, guys. You need not to pay. Okay, it is free, and then we say it is open source. Okay, there is a difference between a free and then open source. Free is nothing but you need not to pay. Open source is nothing but it is supported by any like every operating system. Okay, and it is mainly written in Python. Okay, which is used to, which is like mainly a framework which is used to design an application. Okay, this is the basic definition of what a Django. Use it to what? Use it to design application. Okay, design what application? What kind of application? Most probably the web applications that we will be designing. Okay, so we have a few features of Django. That is why most of the people like end up with Django than any other thing. So first, let me just list what are those features, guys. Okay, so I will discuss six main features of Django. So the first one is we are going to say something called as a battery included approach. It will take 5-10 minutes. That's all. I will start hands-on thing. Okay, I want everyone to see the screen once I start. Okay, and then we have what? We have a rapid development. I will even show you guys like how exactly you can just learn on yourself also. I will show you everything. Okay. So we have a rapid development here, and then we have a good security. Okay. And let's say that it is called as what? Scalable. Okay. And then we have something called as an admin interface. Okay, we have what? We have something called as an admin interface. Okay. After this, we have something called as an REST framework for API. Okay, we have what? We have a REST framework for API. Okay, these are the 6 approaches or the features that I would like to discuss today. Okay, so what is this battery included approach means? Basically, it's not only in Django, it is even used in other programming languages. Okay, what does it exactly do means? It basically comes with a large standard libraries. What it comes? It comes, okay, with a large, okay, large standard, okay, large stand, okay, standard library of modules, okay, libraries of what? Modules. Okay, so it might include something like file input, output, or network programming, or it can include a web development, it can include a data access, or it can even include something called as cryptography and a data access. Data analysis. So this is like, I can say that these are the main features that we have. Okay, okay, so this is what called as a battery included approach. As I told you that it is going to come with a very large standard libraries of modules. As I told that it is going to involve either with an input, output, or a network programming, or web development, or database access, or cryptography kind of data analysis. Okay. And here, one more point, we have something called as rapid. Correct. We have something called as an rapid. What is the meaning of rapid? Rapid is nothing but within a very less time, we can design an application. Exactly. Here also, we can design an application in very less time. So for that, we are going to use something called as MVT model. We are going to use what? We are going to use MVT model, and we follow the dry principle. Dry principle also we are going to follow. Dry principle is nothing but don't repeat yourself. Okay, that is the reason it is called as a rapid development. And coming to the security, so it is a very important aspect of any web application that you guys take. Correct. So here Django provides the best defender against hacking attacks. Okay, it is going to provide a best defending around what? Against the hacking attacks. It can be like hijacking, or it can be even across a site scripting attack or SQL injections. It can be many things. Okay, so it is going to provide a very good security against this. Okay, and we have something called as scalable. What is the meaning of scalable? Can anyone tell me what MVT full form? Okay, it is nothing but it is model view template. Okay, it is nothing but what? Model, view, and then template. I will discuss in the session once I start designing the application. I will start discussing about this. Model is nothing but what? Database. Okay, here model is nothing but database. View is nothing but the connection. Okay, view is nothing but the connection between the what is that URL path and the Python functions basically. And the template is nothing but it is going to involve HTML, CSS, and what is it? JavaScript. Okay, so this is basically called as a templates. Okay, I will elaborate. There is a picture for it for an MBT model, like how exactly it is going to work. Okay, next we have something called as a scalable. What is the meaning of the scalable? Okay, I think when we were in Corona, most of the people would have ordered their items online itself, correct? But when lakhs and thousands of people were using the same application, it might be Amazon or it might be Swiggy or it can be Zepto, whatever it is, but the server or the application never went down. That's basically called as scalable. That means even thousands and lakhs of people involved in it, the server will never come down. Okay, that's basically called as what? Scalable. Okay, next we have something called as an admin interface. Okay, for this admin interface, guys, just give me a minute. I will connect my. I need to draw a picture for this connecting my pens, right? 1 second. One second, I need that icon. So what is this admin interface means? So now let me say I am what? I am an user. Okay. I am what? Let me say I am an user. So user, or you can just put yourself as a client. Okay. So what is the work of a client? Let me say I have to access something with what? Flipkart. Okay, I have to access something with the Flipkart. Okay, let me say I have shopped something. Okay, I have shopped something. Okay, in Flipkart, and then I am not using that mobile number anymore. Like whatever the registered mobile number that I have given whenever I have shopped something in the Flipkart, and that mobile number is no more. Now, what this client is going to do, he is going to connect to the customer service of the Flipkart. Okay, it is going to connect it to the customer service of the Flipkart. Okay, and he's going to raise a complaint saying that there is a problem with the mobile number. Okay, so but this customer service has a lot of things. Let me say there might be a problem with the order. Correct, there might be a problem with the customer details. Okay, customer details, like all these things will be like separate. Okay, so there will be one main person. Okay, there will be one main person who takes up your problem and puts into the proper bucket. You guys get what I'm saying? That main person is nothing but an admin interface, and this admin interface is awesome in Django, guys. Got it? Got this explanation? Anybody have doubt with this? Anybody have doubt with this? So admin interface is nothing but it has a separate platform in Django where admin acts like a pro. Okay, so that saves a lot of time for many people. Okay, so that's basically called as an admin interface. And coming to the next, that's basically called as REST framework for API. I think everybody know API is nothing but what? Application program interface. Correct? It is nothing but what? It is nothing but application program interface. Okay, application program interface. So what is this meaning of application program interface means? We say that it is a set of protocols. We say that what? It is a set of protocols. Protocols. Okay, and we say that tools and standards. Tools and then standards for building the software applications. For BUILD. Okay, BUILD. Okay, for building software applications, for building the software applications. So this is basically called as what? Application program interface. So here, in order to work with an API in Django, we need something called as a REST framework. So using that, basically, we can enable the communication between the different applications. Okay, so using that REST API, what we can do, I will just tell you. Okay, so the first one is called as, it is going to enable communication. Okay, enables the communication between between the different applications. Okay, between the different applications. And then second one, we can say that it has a very good support for the mobile development. Very good support for what? Support for mobile development. Okay, so very good support for the mobile development. Okay, after this, we say that it is very easy to use. Okay, we say that it is very easy to use. Okay, so what else means? So it is easy to use. And then we say that here we are going to have something called as microservice architecture. We are going to have what? Microservice architecture. Architecture. Okay, so these are like few I have listed, like this we have many. Okay, this is, I can say that this is the basic introduction of what? Django. Okay, so now, as I told you that we are going to start the Django project. Okay, so any doubts, guys, in the introduction? Can I have one quick message in the chat, please? Can I have one quick message in the chat, please? Like, if you guys don't have any doubt, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Only one, huh? Thank you. Someone or the other is responding today. Okay. So now I have to design Django application. So what is this Django application? Means I want everyone to see the screen now. Okay. See, this is a Django, right? So this Django is not very small. Okay, we can say that whenever I work with Django, it is nothing but we should have a Python. Okay, so remember, whenever I install Python, I install it in what? My local machine. Correct? You guys agree? Let me say some version around 3.14. Now, if you open this Python, basically this Python works in command prompt. It works in Visual Studio Code. So why it is working in different windows means basically my Python will be installed in entire operating system. Irrespective of any place you open, it is going to work. Now the problem is, suppose if you are into one project, okay, let me say you are into one project where this project needs a version of something like 3.9. Okay, and suddenly they will put you into another project where it needs the version of 3.14. Now the Django will not work, guys. Okay, because it is a two different versions getting hit in the same Windows system, it doesn't work. So in order to make it work, what we have to do means we have to create something called as a virtual environment. Okay, so we are going to create a virtual environment. We are going to activate that virtual environment and we are going to create one folder inside this. And inside this folder, I'm going to install Django. I'm going to install what? I'm going to install Django. So once I do this installation, then again, if you want to, like, let me say, when I install this Django, let me say here 3.9 Python version I can install. So similarly, when they put you into another project, again, you can just go with this virtual environment. Again, you can just create one folder, install virtual machine, activate it, okay, activate it, and then create a folder, and then you can install what? Django. Okay, and then you can do what? You can install the Django. Is it clear? Okay, so in order to avoid the clashes between the different versions of Python, we need what? Yes, VMware is different and virtual environment is different. Okay, I'm telling virtual machine. Sorry, it is virtual environment. Okay, so I'm going to virtual machine is different. Okay, virtual environment is different. Okay, I'm going to create another environment. Let me just, I think, sorry, I used the wrong word or what. See, this is my operating system. Okay, this is my operating system and this is my Django. Okay, so in between these two, I'm going to create one virtual environment. So like this, I can create how many number of virtual environments I want. And for each virtual environment, I can go with virtual like environment, not machine. Okay, it is environment. For this, I can create a different versions of Python. Okay, I can create what? I can create the different versions of Python. Okay, so now let's start the installation. I'm repeating it again. How many of you are doing with me? One quick message in the chat, please. How many of you guys are doing with me? Nobody is doing. Okay, fine then. Fine guys. See here. First, in order to do anything, I have to create one folder. Okay, I'm just refreshing and then I'm just going to create a new folder. And then I'm going to create the folder name as never ever create the folder name as Django. Okay, because sometimes that word it hits and then it will not work. So I'm just going to give something like project. Okay, project I'm just going to give. Okay, now what I will do, I'm just going to open virtual like Visual Studio Code. I'm just going to open and I'm going to open that folder. Okay, I'm going to open that folder which I've created in what? Desktop. What is that? I have created something called as a project and then I'm going to select that. Okay, you can see that now it has been created. Correct. So now I'm just going to increase the size of it bit. Okay, and I'm going to take a terminal. I think this is clear to everyone. Correct. And always remember, whenever you go with a Django installation or creating a virtual machine, you should never be in a PowerShell. Okay, you should be always in a command prompt. Okay, if you're in PowerShell, you can see the error message right there. Okay, it doesn't create, guys. So you should be always with what? Command prompt. Okay, now what I will do, first thing is I'm going to install virtual environment. So in order to install virtual environment, what we have to do means we have to do something called as pip install virtual environment. Okay, we have to install what? Virtual environment. And then let me just enter. Okay, because it's already installed in mine, so it is saying that a requirement is satisfied. Okay, so I will just make a note of it, whatever I have written, so that if I share it as a notes, so later at least you can practice. So what is the step number one I did? I created a folder in desktop. Okay, desktop is known as project. Okay, after that, I opened it. Okay, opened it in what? VSC. Okay, step number two. Okay, in terminal. Okay, in terminal of VS Code. Okay, in terminal of VS Code, change PowerShell to, okay, PowerShell to what? Command prompt. Okay, command prompt. Okay, and installs. What we have to install? We have to do pip install what? Virtual environment. Okay, virtual environment. Now, once this is done, now I have to create an environment. Now I have installed it. Now what I have to do? I have to create a virtual environment, guys. So how to create virtual environment means very simple. The syntax of creating the virtual environment is something like this. It is virtual environment, and then we have to give what? Environment name. Okay, we have to give what? Environment name. Okay. See, again, I will show you. See, I will go to my project folder. See, nothing is there in this. Can you see this? This is literally saying this folder is empty. Okay, I will tell you one plus point of Django is you need not to write a single piece of code, but you can run the application. I will show you that. Okay. Now, but creation structure is very, very important. You should keep that in mind. Okay, now I'm going to create what? Virtual environment. You can give environment name anything. It can be your name also. But most probably, whenever you see any Django documentations, no, most probably it will be test or env. So I'll just go with something like test. See here, it is nothing, correct? As soon as I click on test, it is telling that spelling is wrong. Okay, virtual, okay, env. Is that my spelling is right? Okay, virtual env and then test. So if I just enter, see guys here, it was nothing. So now just keep seeing, see, test got created. Correct, test got created. So if you just go inside it, see, we have so many things. Okay, now what I have to do is I have to go to the scripts. Okay, inside the scripts, I have to activate it. So here we have something called as an activate. Can you see here? Can you see here? We have something called as an activate. Okay, so how can I activate it? Means there is again one command where I can use in order to activate it. Okay, so it is test. So first you have to give your virtual environment name backslash, and then you have to give scripts, because inside the scripts we have something called as activate. Okay, if you just enter, can you see? Okay, it is telling that something. Okay, it is scripts. Can you see X is there? I have not given X, so it's an error. So test, okay, and then scripts, and then what? Activate. If I just enter, can you see? It is activated. That means my virtual environment is activated. And suppose if you want to deactivate, you can just give test, okay, scripts, and then what? Deactivate. Okay, see, now it is deactivated. This is active and this is deactive. So let me just make it active. So one quick message in the chat. Anybody have doubt with it? Okay, thank you. Anybody doing with me? If you do only, guys, you will get, because it has lot of steps for the creations itself. Okay. After you activate, now I'm going to create one folder in order to install what? Django. Okay, thank you. Okay, so now I will just go back here. Okay, step number 6. Okay, now I'm going to create what? A folder. Okay, I'm just going to create a folder, and then I'm just going to say that folder name as what I will say. I will just say something like project, or else I'll just give something like P1. Okay. So after you create, so how do you create a folder? Basically, it's mkdir, and then you will just give P1. Okay, after this, what you have to do is you have to change the directory to the P1. After that, only you have to install the Django. How can you install Django? It is nothing but it is pip install Django. Okay, it is pip install Django. Now let's make this the steps here. Okay. mkdir. Okay, and I'm just going to give P1. Okay, see, P1 has been created here. See, nothing is there in the P1. Can you see? I will show you here also. Okay, if you just go here, test is there. See, if I just click on, nothing is there. It is saying folder is empty. In few seconds, see like how many files will be entered inside it. Now I'm going to change the directory to the P1. Now I'm going to do what? Installation of Django. So it is pip install what? Django. It will take around few minutes. Okay, Django. Django spelling is wrong, right? Django. It is right. No. It will take some few minutes. Let's wait and then let's start. So now it is successfully installed. After installing, we have to check the version of the Django which has been installed. So we are just going to write Django, okay, and then we are going to write admin. Okay, we are going to write admin space two hyphens and then version. It's not getting typed up. Okay, so it is basically Django. Okay, so I'm just going to write a Django admin. Okay, and then version. Okay, so now if I just enter, see, basically it shows what version. Okay, guys, still nothing is there in this P1. Now, after installing the Django, now inside this, I have to create a project. See, saying I'm creating WhatsApp is different from creating the files for WhatsApp. Clear? So I'm going to create a WhatsApp project. Inside this, I'm going to create an application. That means it involves all the programs. Okay, here WhatsApp is nothing but what? Project. Okay, and all the like programs that we write to run this program is basically called as application. There is a lot of difference between these two. Okay, don't get confused. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a project, guys. Okay. How can I create a project? Means very simple. So we have to run again one more command. How to run means in order to create an application. So we have to do something called as a Django admin. Okay. Django admin and then start project. Okay, Django admin start project, and let me say the project is something like my project. Okay, we will just say, or I will just give something called as student. Okay, student is my project name. Okay, so it is telling that Django admin spelling is wrong. Let me just correct it. So it is basically N, and then if I just enter, okay, if I just enter, wait. Okay, see here, it was empty. Now can you see? There are so many things added inside this, isn't it, guys? Yes or no? See, there are so many things added inside it. So now let's discuss what is all of it. Okay, so after installing a Django, what did I do? I just checked the version of the Django. So how to check the version of the Django? It's basically Django admin and then minus minus version to check the version. Okay, after this, what did I do? I started creating a project. Create a project inside what? A Django. Okay, so in order to create a project, what we have to do? Creating a project in Django. Okay, Django. Okay. So in order to create a project, what we have to do? So we have to do very simple. It is Django. Okay, Django admin. Okay, Django admin. So after this, what we have something called as start project. Okay, start project, and then the project name what we have given something like student. Okay, after this, okay, so I'm just going to explain the things. So there are few files which we saw. What were those? The first file was init file. Correct? We had something called as init file. Okay, this was the first file, right? You can see here we have init ASGI, WSGI, correct? Let me just write it here. Okay, so and enter. So we have what? We have ASGI, okay, and then we have WSGI. Okay, after this we have what? We have something called as settings. Okay, settings.py. Okay, so after this you can see everything is a Python file here, correct? And then urls.py. Okay, and then we have what? One more file that is called as what is it? Settings, what is it? I forgot. 1 second, let me just go back and then see. URLs. Okay. So we have what? We have something called as URLs. Okay, URLs dot what? py. Okay, outside this, okay, outside this project, okay, outside this project, one more file has been created that is called as manage.py. Okay, now let's understand what are these files. Why do we need these files? So let's understand all of it. Okay. So the first one is we have something called as the settings.py. What is this settings.py? Let me just to show you. So if you just go to the settings.py, see already some set of code is written over here. Okay, can you see already some set of code is written? So we have like base directory is nothing but our project. Our project is nothing but student. Okay, and here it has some secret key. Okay, we say that this is called as an production secret. Okay, after this we have allowed posts. Okay, and here you can see we have something called as an installed apps. Okay, basically, there Django contrib dot what is that admin? It is going to provide the web-based administration. Okay, it will provide web-based administration, and Django.contrib.auth is going to provide authentication framework. Okay, what is that authentication framework? Means handling user authentications. If you want to give permissions or if you want to create a groups, so that's when you are going to use something called as contrib.auth. Okay. Next, we have something called as content type. Okay, content type is nothing but, so here it has like complex data models. It can be like foreign key, Django contrib sessions, all those things. And then coming to the static files, so here we will have CSS, JavaScript, and then image files. Okay, all these things are called as what? Static files. Okay, after this, if you just see here, we have something called as a middleware. Middleware is nothing but it has like a set of components that sits between the server and then view function. Okay, basically we say that HTTP response. Okay, template is nothing but whenever you are going to create one folder called as a template, you have to add it over here. In line number 57, you have to add something over here. Okay. After this, we have something called as an WSGI. I am going to explain. And see, with this, we can connect to the database. See, with this templates, we can connect it to the HTML file. And with this database, we can connect it to the database file. Okay, and these are like authentication passwords, like how can you give the passwords, all those things. And then we have the language code, time zone, and then use I189, and then use TZ, like all these things we have. And then we have static URL. Okay, and then we have default autofill, all those things. Okay, this is about the main settings. After this, we have something called as an ASGI. ASGI is nothing but we are going to say asynchronous gateway interface, and then WSGI is nothing but web server gateway interface. So basically, this is the one which is going to connect our Python application to the server. When this is not working, that's when the WSGI is going to work. Okay, that is when the WSGI is going to work. After this, we have something called as urls.py. So whenever you create an application, whenever you are creating an application, so you are going to create with what? URLs. What is the meaning of that URLs? Means just go to this, okay, and can you see here? This is basically an URL. You guys agree? See HTTPS, and then we have something called as zoom.us, and then we have post attendant, correct? And this is called as what is it called? URL. Is this is clear? Anybody have doubt? One quick message, guys. Anybody have doubt? Anybody have doubt till here? Thank you so much. No, no. Okay, thank you. Okay. After this, we have something called as manage.py. Okay, if you just see this manage.py, see this is the file which helps us to run our Django application. What it does, it is going to help us, to create a Django application. So how can we create, like how can we run the Django application? Means I'm going to show you. Could you repeat? It is web server gateway interface, Aditya. Okay, web server gateway interface. Okay, so now I have created a project. As I told you that manage.py is going to help us run the code. In order to run the code, we are going to use Python manage.py and then run server. Okay, everybody see the screen? Okay, okay, thank you. Okay, so now everybody see the screen. So now what I have done, I have created something called as Python manage.py and then server. So now if you just enter it, okay, if you just enter it, okay, okay, it is saying that Python manage.py, okay. Okay, because I have not changed the directory to the student, so it is throwing that error. So now if you just run, see, your server will be getting activated. Can you see? This is the default Django server. Okay, whether I run or whether you run, this is the IP address that we are going to get. What is it? It is 127.0.0.1. So this is what we are going to get. So just place your cursor on this. You are going to get follow the link. Just click on it. See guys, so successfully we have, see, the install worked successfully. Congratulations. So we release notes for Django 5.1. Now, as you guys told, ma'am, I don't know Django. So what we can do means if you just scroll, can you see Django documentation? I'm going to share this URL. Okay, I'm going to share this URL in the notes. So you guys can use it for the other, like if you just click on it, you are going to get the documentation. Okay, I'm just going to write as what? A Django documentation. Django documentation. Okay, so it is going to have what? A Django documentation. Okay, so now if I just go back here, okay, if I just go back here, I think it is clear for everyone till here. So Django documentation. So if you just click on this Django documentation, see, you are going to get all the things. Whatever I explained, everything is over here. And one more thing, what is one more interesting thing is it is shown one polling app also. Like how to create a polling app. Like suppose if someone is like using it for the first time, like polling is nothing but voting app they have designed. Okay, and here we have something called as a Django community. If you just click on this Django community, no, basically it will take you to your mail ID and it shows hell lot of mail IDs. So if you are like stuck somewhere, if you just ping onto any mail ID, they will help you. Okay, this is how it works. So any doubts, guys, still here? Any doubts still here? So if anybody is doing, okay, I don't know like how many guys, how many of you are doing, I will give 10 minutes time to make this. Okay, after that, I'm going to continue with creating a URL. Okay, so only Kalyani is not doing. Okay, so I will give you 10 minutes or I will give you 8 minutes time. By 51, I'm going to start the next concept. Let's go ahead and start creating applications. Okay. It's clear for everyone. So now we'll just come out. So now project has been created. Now what I have to do, I have to create an application. In order to start creating an application, you have to run one more file. Okay, it's basically Django, okay, Django and then admin, okay, Django admin, start app, okay, start app, and then let me just say it is application, okay, student application. So I'll just give stud and then app, okay, student application. So now if you just enter, see inside student, see student application key. See, this is the main project, and inside this main project, we have what? Student application. Okay, now if you click on this, again, we have so many things. The only difference between this and this you can see is here we have models. Here we have views. Okay, here we have apps. And one more thing, I have to create one more file here that is called as URLs. This is the place where I will create URLs for my application. Okay, how to create, what to create, everything we will see. Okay, before we go ahead, we have to edit our settings. Ma'am, now run, ma'am, what is going to happen means that screen is not going to come. Okay, if you just run this, okay, so it is going to, okay, so this is going to come, but it won't be like, see, okay, still it is showing, but this is not like how always it will be expected. It will change in few minutes. Okay, so now I have to like edit my settings. Okay, edit my settings before I go ahead. So here you can see something called as an settings.py. Just go ahead here. Okay, and here, okay, so here, can you see here we have installed apps. So under this, I have to add my app. What is my app name? That is student underscore app. Okay, so after adding this app, so it is telling that there is no module named stud. Okay, so but we have, that's okay. And we have students. See, I didn't even change anything. So we have got already student URLs. Okay, that's all, guys. Okay, after this is done, okay, why it is throwing this error is, so under this views, we should go include. Okay, where in this URLs also we should include. What we should include means we should include a path. Okay, we should include. Okay, so we should like give the URLs. So this basically takes the URLs and then I have to give include. So what exactly I have to include? I have to include stud app dot what URLs. Okay, now that error will go. So, but it will throw a new error according to me that include is not defined. Okay, so now if I just run this, okay, it is going to show that, see, include is not defined. So just go here and then just give something called as what? Include. Okay. Hi, ma'am, please tell me. So, yeah, sure, Kalyani. I'm sorry. Okay, see, I didn't do anything. I just went to the settings. Okay, under the settings, I added my application name. What is my application name? Student app. So I added student app. I'm making the notes. Any which ways I will share it. Okay. So this is basically what settings dot py. Okay. So inside this, you have to change this. Okay. So after this, okay. Okay. After this, we have to add under the project URLs. Okay. Project under this project URLs dot py. So we have to add something. So what is that? I have added this. Okay. Under this, I have to add it. Okay. Is this clear? Basically, I'm saying that whatever the links that I'm going to give under my project application, whatever the URLs I will give under the project application, that should be added. That's all I'm saying. Okay, is this clear? Is till here, is it clear? Now let me start creating one path and then I will show you. So what happens is if I just, okay, it is telling that URL patterns is not there because this file is empty. That is the reason it is showing like that. Okay. So now what I will do, I will just go to this urls.py and then I will start creating my first path. Let me say from Django. Okay, let me say from Django.urls. Okay, I'm just going to import what paths. Okay, because I'm going to use that path. Okay, Django. C-A-N. Okay, Django. Okay, so I'm just going to include this. Okay, after this, after the path, okay, so I have to include something called as a from, okay, dot, I have to import the views. Okay, so now I'm just going to add what URL patterns. Okay, URL patterns. So I'm just going to add. So now the thing is, I have to add the path, guys. What I have to add? I have to add the path. Now, how to add the path? So first, I have to give the name of the URL. Let me say for now, I'm just going to make it as an index. Okay, after this, I'm just going to add something called as views.index. So what is that basically going to be? That views. Okay, I've just given views, right? Yeah, let me just say this one. Okay, see now automatically it is happening, right? It is saying that there is no attribute called as an index where under the student app dot views. So here it is saying that there is nothing. Okay, now we shall add something over here. So what I should add means, let me just say define index. Okay, I'm just going to say request. Okay, now what exactly I'm doing means, so first I have created my path. Okay, that means if I just go here, okay, if I just go here and if I just give index, okay, if I just give something like index, okay, if I just give index and then if I just enter, okay, so it will go connected to this, what is that application. So here we should write like whatever that we want to write. So according to the Python, if you just write a written and then hello world, it should display. Correct? Hello world and then it should display. See, we started already getting the link. But if I just take this link, okay, see, it is telling page not found. And if you just give something like an index, and then if you just enter, see, it is going to say that string object has no attribute. So that means we don't have something called as just the return. So in order to display or in order to print something on the URL, either you have to use something called as an HTTP response or you have to use something called as a response. Okay, in order to do that, first we have to import it. That is from Django. Okay, dot HTTP. Okay, I have to import what? I have to import something called as HTTP response. Okay, I have to import what? HTTP response. Okay, so now you can just remove this hello world, whatever you have written, and then you have to just write what? HTTP response. And then if you just write whatever that you want to display, you can just go with the header, and then you can just say something called as welcome to my world. Okay, and then if you just close it, it will be gone. Okay, so now let me just save this. Okay, now it is telling that there is no Django. I think spelling is wrong again. Okay, Django. Okay, so now if I just go back to this link again, or if you just go refresh also, it is going to come. And then if you just give index, and then if you just enter, see, we started getting the data. Is this is clear? Anybody have doubt with this? Anybody have doubt with this? Thank you. Okay, I'm just going to write down the code and then I will give the 5 minutes time. So I want you guys also to try. Okay, application. Okay, urls.py and then what? Views.py. Okay, so under URLs and then under views I will show. Okay, this is URLs and then this is views. I'll just copy this. Okay, and then I will just put it over here. Okay, I will give you 5 minutes time. Please try on this. If you are getting any error, please do let me know. Okay. So now, I'm back, guys. Okay. Now what we will do, we will understand how exactly this program is working. Because I know that whoever sees this at first sight, they can't understand. Because we are revolving around too many files, too many folders, right? So what exactly is happening? Let me just explain that. Okay. So now let me say whenever the user, okay, let me say that's me. Okay. Start using something called as what? A Django framework. As a user or like as a client, let me say I'm going to use something called as a Django framework. Okay. So under this, I'm going to use something called as URL. Where I will use, let me say here. See, I'm just going here and then I'm using something. See, under this, I'm giving something called as an index. As soon as you give the index in the browser, okay, remember guys, see, as soon as you give the index, URL in the browser, this is where we are going to give. We are going to give in the browser. Okay, as soon as you give in the browser, what happens means it will go connected to the view. Okay, it will go connect to where it is going to connect to the view. That is, see, as soon as you give this in the browser, it will come and connect to this file. And whatever is there in this file will be fetched back. Okay, whatever is there in this file will be basically fetched back. Okay, this is what we have seen. Correct? This is what we have seen. But there is something beyond this, guys. Under this views, actually, we can create something called as a model. Okay, and then we can also create something called as a template. Okay, model is nothing but what? Model is nothing but data. Okay, so we can actually create this. Okay, we can actually create this, and then model is nothing but what? Data. Now we have already seen like how to get the response from the view. Now I will show you like how you can connect with the template. Now let's understand what is the meaning of this template. Okay, template is nothing but it is going to involve HTML code inside it. Have you ever written a HTML code inside a Python, guys? One quick message in the chat, please. Have you ever written a HTML code inside the Python? No, right? Okay, and then HTML, CSS, we can even include what? We can even include JavaScript. Okay, I will show you like how you can do that. Okay, so yes, very nice. Okay, so now let me just show you like how you can create. Now I will write a simple program. Okay, let me say in the index itself, I'm going to write one simple program. Okay, where I'm going to create one form. Okay, where I'm going to create one form. So what I will do, I'm just going to remove this. Okay, I'm just going to remove this. I'm just going to remove form and then I'm going to write 3 dots. Okay, enter. Okay, and then I'm going to write 3 dots. So here I will start writing what? HTML code. Okay, this is HTML. Okay, and then let me just say head. Okay, and then let me just say title. Okay, and that's basically my form. Okay, again it is what? Title. Okay, and here let me just close the head. Okay, and let me just write the body. Let me just write the body, and here I'm going to create a form with the method is equals to what? Post. Okay, with the method is equals to what? Post. Okay, and then I'm going to create what? The table. Okay, and then let me just create what? TR, and then let me just create a TD, and then let me just give something called as heading. Okay, let me just create something called as an heading, and then you can just give something like TD, and then you can just give input. Okay, and then type is equals to what? Text. Okay, and then we can just keep what? We can just keep something like name is equals to what? Behead. Like just one sample thing I'm just showing you guys. Okay, behead. Okay, and excuse me. Okay, and then TD. Okay, so after this, I'm just going to write what? TR. Okay, so after this, I'm just going to create another TD. Okay, another TR first I will create. Okay, inside this TR, I'm just going to create a TD and then I'm just going to give what? One input here. One input type here. That's basically called as what? Submit. Okay, that's basically called as submit. Okay, and then I'm just going to give a name is equals to what? Post. Okay, name is equals to what? Post. Like, or else this, without this also it's fine, guys. It is going to totally work. Okay, and then I'm just going to write what? TD. Okay, see, now I have included what? I have included the form. So now what should I do? I have to close the form. Okay, and then, sorry, first I should close the table, isn't it? I will close the table, okay, and then close the form. And then I'm just going to close the body. Okay, and then close the body. And then I'm just going to close what? HTML file. Okay, after this, I will come out of these three dots. Okay, and then I'm just going to return. What I will return? I'm going to return this HTTP response. It's saying something called as form. Okay, now see guys, if I just take this link, or if you just go back and then if you just refresh, see, we started getting the form. But ma'am, whatever TR has to be closed. One second. Okay. But whatever I did is not a right way. In Django, we are not supposed to write a HTML, like this. Whatever I did is not the right way. Ma'am, then ma'am, what we have to do? So for that, see, we have a something called as a student app. Just go here, right click, and then create a folder called as templates. Okay, you have to create a folder called as in templates. Okay, inside this templates, you have to basically create the file. So inside this templates, again, I have to create one more folder. Okay, so I have to create one more folder that is nothing but called as stud app. Okay, inside this, okay, inside this, or actually without this also you can go ahead. I will just delete this. Inside this, I'm going to create one file. Let me say index.html. Okay, now I have created index.html. I will just give DOC and then tab. Okay, and inside this, I'm going to create a form. Okay, so inside this, I'm just going to give something like input type as what text, and then I'm just going to give two breaks and then one more break. Okay, and then I will give one more input type. Okay, and then submit. I will tell you this will not work, guys. This will not work because under the views I have given this. So now what I will do, I'm just going to erase this. Okay, I'm just going to erase this. Okay, after keep in the mind. So now I should not use a response. Okay, I should not use a response, but instead I have to return. Okay, what I have to return instead, I have to return render. Okay, so when it is like a normal one line, when it is like a one line of code, then you have to go with HTTP response. When it is a file, then you have to use a render. Now I'm going to request for what? Index.html file. Okay, I'm going to request for what? Index.html file. Okay, this is how we write. But even now it is not going to come. If you just refresh, okay, it is already coming. Very nice. So this is how we are going to get it. But before we write this, again, we have to go to the settings.py and here we have to add the templates. Can you see here? We have to go and then we have to give the path. Okay, how we have to give it? os.path. Okay, and then open the bracket. So here I have to give the base directory and then I have to give the templates. Is it clear? Anybody have doubt here? Anybody have doubt in the creation? One quick message. Meanwhile, I will start adding the text. Okay, so now I'm just going to show how to add templates. How to add, can you please, yeah, sure. How to add templates. Okay, just a second, I will add this notes. Continuous delivery of a class makes any trainer exhausted. The student should do. That's when the class will be interactive. Here only I am doing and you guys are seeing means it is not good, guys. Okay, views.py. Okay, and okay, so after this I have to create a folder for stud app. Okay, and templates. Templates, and inside this I'm going to add what? Index.html. Okay, I'm going to add what? Index.html. So you asked me like what is the difference between render? Okay, what is the difference between a render and HTTP response? Correct. Huh? See, if it is a HTTP response, Okay, if it is a HTTP response, it will be a single line that we have to display. Okay, single line has to be displayed. Okay, has to be what? Displayed. But if it is a render, guys, okay, we have to display the file. We have to display what? Display the file. Is it fine? Is it clear till here? Is your doubt clear, Rajita? Yes. Okay. Guys, we'll go for 10 minutes break. Okay. And then I'll get back and then I will continue the session. I'll be back by 8:25. Okay. I'm going for a 10 minutes break. I'll be back by 8:25. Okay, 10 minutes break. Okay, I'm back. So what next is I'm going to show you like how to add some CSS effects or how to perform some JavaScript on it. Okay, is everyone back after the break? One quick message in the chat, please. Hello, somebody respond. I can see there are 129 members in the session and nobody. Yes, thank you so much, Manish. Okay, now I will show you like how to add what static files. How to add what static files in JavaScript. Okay, so in order to add static files, first I have to add one line. What is that line means? Let me just go back to the settings. Okay, and here we have something called as statics. Okay, here we have something called as static, and here I'm going to add static. Okay, I'm going to add static file directories. Okay, files underscore directories, DIRS. Okay, and then I'll just open here. I'm just going to give something like os.path.join. Okay, and here I'm just going to give base directory. Okay, and I'm just going to give static. And then static. This is nothing but in my base directory, please join the static. What is my base directory? That's basically student. And this student has something called as a student tab. So here I'm just going to right click and create a folder called as what? Static. Okay, I'm going to create a folder called static. Guys, always remember this should be templates only. If it is template also, it won't work. Okay, and then under this static, I'm just going to create two folders. Okay, one is called as CSS. Okay, and then another one is called as JS. Okay, that is JavaScript. Okay. Under this CSS, again, I'm just going to create another file that's called as style.css. What is it? I'm just going to create something called as style.css. See, we are already getting this form, right? I will just go back to the index.html file and then I'm going to give one heading. Let me say dashboard. I will just give something called as students dashboard. Students dashboard. Okay. So now if I just go back here, okay, and then refresh. Okay, it is telling site cannot be reached because I have to rerun my server. Okay, if I just run this, okay, okay, it is telling that I forgot the OS there. Nothing much, you have to just import what OS. That's all. Okay, and let me just rerun the server. Okay, and okay, I think it is somewhere at the bottom I'm adding. I will just put this one at the top. Okay, because now also somewhere probably I'm using it, so that is the reason. So now let me just save this. And if I just run this, okay, it is telling that module object is not callable. Okay. Type error. Okay, where in line number 58. 58. Okay, os.path.join. Okay, path.join is missing. Okay. Okay, save this and then let me just run. Okay, so now we are going to get what? See, we are going to get the link, and if you just go take this link, see, okay, now if I just type something called as index, okay, and if I just enter, see, I'm getting students dashboard. Now, if I want to color this students dot dashboard, what I have to do? Let me say I have my CSS file here, and then I have style here. Just go, and then we are going to add style for that H1 tag. What color? Let me just say I'm going to give some color. Okay, I'll just give some color like I'll just take this chat areas. Okay, but if I just go here and refresh, see nothing will be added. Okay, in order to add some color to that given text, so what I have to do is I have to add one line, guys. Where I have to add means under this index.html, I have to make the connection from this templates to this static folder. How can I make it? You can just create something called as link. Okay, and under this href, open the bracket, we have to write percentage space static. Okay, percentage space static. Okay, and then give a space under CSS. Okay, we have created something called as in style.css. Please connect to that and then percentage. So I'm just saying there is a static file, that is this static file. Under this, I have CSS and then style.css. Please connect it. Can you see there is some change in it? So let me just save this. If I just go back and then if I just refresh, okay, it is saying that invalid block tag on line number 6. And you can see here it is saying, did you forget to register or load? Okay, now we have to load our register. So you have to go at the top of our HTML code and then you have to say percentage load static. Okay, we have to say what? Load static and then percentage. Okay, so we have to say that one. Okay, now what I will do, I will just get back and then save the file each time you do. Go back here and then refresh it again. Can you see? We started getting the color. Is it clear for everyone? Anybody wants me to repeat it? I didn't do anything. First, I created a static file. Okay, I'll write it down here so that it will be helpful for you guys. So I have created, I have created okay, I have created static file. Okay, I have created a static file under where? Under what is that? Student underscore app. Okay, under this I created static. Okay, after this, under this I created something called as an CSS and then I created something called as an style.css. Okay, after this, under the settings.py. Okay, I have added a code. What is it means? Let me just go back. Okay, this is the settings.py. Okay, and let me just add this. This is what I have added. Okay, this is what I have added. That means I have created something called as a static directory. Please join according to my file. I have just added this. Okay, after this, what I have done, under that style.css, I have added a little bit of code. Correct. After this, under this index.html, which is under the templates, also I have added some code. I will just write here it is static. Okay, and then CSS. Okay, and here it is templates and index.html. Okay, it is what? Templates and then what? Index.html. So let me just say here and then put it. Okay, now let me just add the code for it, whatever that I have added. I know it is like bit tricky to understand, right, at one go. Yes or no? I will tell you guys, in order to reach this, it will take minimum 6 to 7 sessions. But as we are doing project, no, so I'm just rushing up the concepts. That's all. Okay, so I'll just copy this. Okay, get back here, and then I'm going to add it over here. Okay, I'm going to add it over here. Is this is clear? Is this is clear? Anybody have doubt with this? Anybody have doubt with this? Please, one quick message in the chat. It will be really motivating for me if you guys respond. Guys, respond, no? 131 members are there. At least 2 messages from 131 members. If nobody responds, how? It's really bad. Okay, now what I will do, under this JS file, so now what I'll do means, see, I'm just going to create 2 things. Okay, what I'll do means, I'm going to do something called as header. Okay, I'm going to create one header link. 1 second. So now what I'll do means, thank you so much for responding. Now, and the same file, I'm just going to create header and then I'm just going to create something called as a footer. Okay, so I'll just go back here. Okay, I already have index.html. Okay, I'm just going to create something called as header. Okay, HEADER, header, and then I'm just going to create header. Okay, and then I'm just going to create something called as footer. And then I'm just going to create something called as footer here. Okay, and now for this header, I'm going to give something. Let me just say, I'm just going to give for this header, I'm just going to give on click. So as soon as you click on this header, it should trigger some function. Let me say it is header click. It should trigger for something called as a header click function. Okay, that means, so if I just go back here and then if I just refresh, see, header is there, right? As soon as I click on this header, like I should get one message. Okay, I should get one message. I think it will be good if I go with H1 tag, I guess, because it looks a bit elegant and then nice. Okay, I'll just change this weight and just go with H1 and then header. Okay, I'll just make H as capital. Okay, and then I'm just going to give what on click is equals to what header. Okay, header click. I'll just keep header click. It's a function. Now for this header click, see if I just go back here, see I have got the header. So if I click on this, see I'm clicking on this now, but nothing is happening. Header spelling is written HEA. Header. Okay. So as soon as I click on this header, I should get one pop-up message saying that you have clicked on header. So for that, I have created already a JS file here. But inside this JS file, I'm going to create one more file. Let me say it is called as external.js, guys. Okay. So I'm going to create a function for what? Header click. Okay, I'm going to like write a function for an header click and then I'm going to pass an alert message. What is that? It is like header section is clicked. I'm just going to pass something like header section has been clicked. Okay, so now let me just save this. Okay, if I just go back, if I just click, say still nothing is coming. Why? Because I haven't linked this external JS file to my index.html. Guys, let me repeat what I have done. See, same folder, like index.html file. I have created something called as a header. And then I have created something called as a footer. Okay, for this header, I am passing one function called as header click. That means as soon as I click on this header, see, as soon as I click on this header, I should get one alert pop-up. Okay, so in order to get that done, what I've done, under the static file, I have created a JS file and then I have added a file called as an external.js and inside the Python file, I have added JavaScript code. Okay, inside these are all Python files. Inside this, what I've done, I have added JavaScript file. Now I'm just going to add. Where to add that code? So you can just go to the head and then you can create something called as script. So under this script, I'm going to pass the source. How can you pass? So you can just pass like single quote. See, if double quotes is there, then inside it should be single quotes. If double quotes is outside, single quote should be inside. If single quotes is outside, double quote should be inside. Same signs will not work. Okay. So now we have what? Static. And then under the JS, we have what? We have something called as external.js. Okay, we have what? We have something called as an external.js and then percentage. Okay, I'll just make this one to double quotes. Okay, I'll just go back here and then I will make it as double quotes. I'll just check the link because if this is not right, my code will not work. Static JS external.js. Okay, so now let me just save this. Hope so it works. Okay, if I just click on this, okay, it's not coming. That means something is wrong. Okay, there is something wrong. Let me just see what is wrong. So here, static. Okay, okay. Let me just rerun the code and then check it. Like if it is throwing any error, at least I can. Okay, it is not throwing. But if I click also, nothing is coming, isn't it? So I'm just going to give index. Okay, if I click on this, yes, see, header section has been clicked. Can you see? I'm getting a pop-up, guys. Can you see? If I just click, see, header section has been clicked. Can you see? Yes, no, say something. I think you guys have joined the session and then I can see that your attention is towards the attendance, not towards the session. Huh? How is this, guys? Seriously, it's disappointing. So see, this is how we can do it. So anybody have doubts still here? Anybody have doubts still here? Say something. Okay, no, thank you. Now I will start adding the code like whatever I have done. I'll just copy this my index.html file. I'll just go back. Okay, I haven't added no for this. This is for static. Did I add the static file? Yeah, but okay. So for static JavaScript. Okay, for JavaScript. Okay, JavaScript in what? Static file. Okay, I'll just take this. Okay, and inside this index.html, so this is the code. So what is the code? Let me just go, let me just copy this, let me just come back, and then let me just add it. Okay, and under this is static, we have something called as JS, and then we have what? We have something called as external.js. Okay. Okay, so now let me just add it. Okay, so now I will give you 5 minutes time. Please give a try on this, and then we will start with the documentation of today's session. Okay, yeah, I'll give you 5 minutes. Please do this. Yes, Saujanya, tell me. You've written hello message. Tell me, Saujanya, how can I help you? I've given some sort of work. If you are doing it, will be great. Please watch the recordings, Saujanya. That's all I can say. What else? So guys, let's start the documentation of today's code. Okay, now I will not do, you guys will be saying and then I will be doing. Okay, you can use Google, I don't mind. Okay, Google, Chat GPT, you can use anything. Okay, fast guys, you can give the abstract of the project. Fast. Okay, use anything that you want. You, whether if you want use Chat GPT, if you want use Google, I want the abstract of my project. You have understood, right? Like what exactly I'm saying? Guys, give the abstract for this project. Somebody doing it, just one message in the chat, please, like yesterday. Anybody doing the abstract, please, one message. Rajita, are you doing? Rajita, you can just type whatever I have written here. You are going to get that abstract. Anybody? Anybody? Kalyan, Monish. Okay, I will do after. No, I want someone who is doing right now in the session. I want the abstract. See, I'm not asking you to code. I'm just asking you to give the abstract of our project. It's new to me, so no, you understood the question, right? Write the abstract in English. That's all. Nothing else I'm asking. I'm not asking you to code. I'm not asking you to type the code. Just asking you to give the abstract for my project. Well, nobody is doing abstract. Okay, so we will just copy this, whatever that I have written, and then I will put it in the Google. We will see like if we, oh, thank you so much. Someone give, thank you. I don't know how to thank Pratibha. Thank you so much, Pratibha. So I'll just copy this. Very nice. And you can just like share me little bit of introduction to Django as well. Okay, little bit of introduction to Django. Very nice, Pratibha. Thank you so much. Okay, and next, you give little bit of introduction. So this is basically the abstract, okay, and little bit of introduction to it. I have already given the introduction. Okay, so why don't you give little explanation about virtual environment? Anyone? Can anyone give me like little explanation about virtual environment? Okay, got the answer, I guess. Thank you. Thank you, Pratibha. Okay, so high level, I'll just copy this. Okay, and this copy, and you can give little bit about virtual machine. Can you give little explanation about virtual machine also? Just Okay, isolation, flexibility. Nice. Okay, for virtual machine. Okay, next. I think, yeah. You wanna give some explanation about these? Okay, I'll just give these. Okay, you can just put it in the chat. 1 second, I will just send. For these also, you can send explanation. I will just add in the notes. Okay. Okay, and add some things. Okay, and one last thing that I would like to add is rapid development. I think I've already added for rapid development. I'll just delete this and I will add this for scale. Okay, scale. Okay, and I've got the explanation. I think then sharing it. Yeah. Okay, I've given for Rajita. Okay, I'll just put it for Pratibha. Okay, like everyone. So you just leave the last explanation on this. This. Someone please find after the story and the session. Then I'll save the file meanwhile, like by the time you guys give Control S. Okay, I will share this in December 2nd. Okay, Django project documentation. Documentation. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, if not, that's fine. I'll share this file and then I'll leave for the day. Okay, just take it. Okay, Django file. See, this is what we have started, and tomorrow I'm going to end the project. Okay, thank you guys. Sarah, are you there? I'm giving the session. Thank you so much. Bye, guys. Good day. Good night.
Yeah, thank you, Akshita. So, students, I'm sharing the attendance link. If you are not done with your attendance, please mark it. And any more questions, you can ask me here in the chat box, or else we'll wind up the session. Okay. Any more questions? I didn't see any question here. Ma'am, can't we share the documents from Zoom? Pratibha, you are asking that Akshita need to share or else you want to share? You want to share? No. Like a file you can't able to share. But like any screenshot or photo you can share. Okay, fine. We'll wind up the session and we'll meet on tomorrow. Till then, take care. Bye bye. Good